I am 50 years old and I have never been married and I don't have kids.
Women are very selfish today because all we do is tell men like what we...
A lot of men recently asking me, why don't women just ask men out?
Where are the women pushing 30? Where do we find good men at? Where do we find good men at?
The thing is, whenever a woman is ready to settle, she always look for the nice guy later.
Why is serenading not a thing anymore? I used to show up to a girl's house who they liked with a guitar and start singing.
The older I get and the more I'm dating, I'm really realizing you don't want a rich man.
I'm gonna tell you who the sassiest, girliest men are.
A man becomes sassy in a woman's book once he starts developing self-respect. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
I'm done pretending that I'm okay because I'm not. I did everything they said.
Look at what men have to choose from. They have to choose from a bunch of women acting like men.
We do not need men.
As a newly single girly in her 30s, I have some dating concerns.
At first it was kind of funny, like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna be single forever, I'm gonna die alone. Now it's been 3 years. It's not that funny anymore. I'm at the point where
women are not attractive anymore, and I'm not even talking about their looks.
I agree.
Dating today feels so exhausting. Like, everyone says that they want real connection, but no one is really putting themselves out there. And like, serious question, and I'm not asking for a friend, I'm asking for me, but where are all the emotionally available, loving, protective men? Please let me know where. I'm saying it again. I am not asking for a friend. I'm asking for me.
Well, a good majority of all the loving, emotional and protective men, the ones who were genuinely ready to give their all, have been damaged by women who thought nothing of them. These men showed up with pure intentions, hoping to build something real, only to be taken for granted, manipulated or discarded like they never mattered. Some women saw their kindness as weakness. They used them as emotional crutches, financial backups, or stepping stones to their next chapter. And after being drained of their time, energy, and love, these men were left questioning their worth, their masculinity, and even their purpose in relationships. And the worst part? Nobody talks about their pain. Society tells them to man up, to suppress their hurt, to stay quiet. So they do. They shut down, build walls, and stop trying. Not because they hate women, but because they've learned that love for them often comes with betrayal. That's just the reality.
Okay, I'm trying to find the best places in LA to meet single men, and I've been on a bit of a hiatus because I had food poisoning. I was in Kauai. Now I'm back, okay? But I'm working a lot. So we had a team dinner tonight. We went to Pache, classic place in LA. There were so many cute guys. I don't know like how you would meet them at like a restaurant. It's not like really a bar vibe, but I will tell you, there were a lot of cute guys at Pache. I was surprised. Maybe I've just like never looked around and like not all of them like were in couples. Like there were just like a lot of attractive men. So just doing my part in spreading the word.
Where are the women pushing 30? Where do we find good men at? And I'm not talking about the club. And I hate dating apps. Where do y'all find single men at? Where are the single men? Because everywhere I go, I'm seeing taken men. The way I would literally cut off both of my butt cheeks just to have a crush right now, I would do it. I also fear that I have to meet somebody in real life because the dating apps, anytime I even tell anyone yes to meeting up and going on a date, I think they're gonna me. And then I sabotage it. So, like, can someone that has a crush right now tell me what the butterflies feel like? Because I forgot. Tell me what it feels like to feel a little uneasy and feel like you might be ghosted any second, because I forgot. Things are not looking good.
I would say another reason why so many women in their 30s are so late to finding their man or husband is because they prioritized their careers and now they're trying to play catch-up. And here's the truth. When a woman chooses career, she's not just building something, she's also sacrificing something. Time, energy, and the window to build a family while the best men are still available. You can't have it all at once, no matter how much society tries to sell that dream. Now, Many of them are getting ghosted, breadcrumbed, or played by the very type of men they used to ignore. The ones who were never serious to begin with. Why? Because a great number of the good men, the builders, the husbands, the protectors, are already settled, married, or done with the dating games. They were looking for wives while these women were looking for promotions.
I am 50 years old and I have never been married and I don't have kids. And I know that some people think that is a red flag. And my question is why? Is it better to have a divorce? Is it better to be like a single mom? Is it better to be in an unhappy marriage? I don't understand why people in my situation are called red flags.
People are just so desperate to love somebody else, to be loved by somebody else. If you want love so badly, love yourself. If you want to go out on a date, go on a date with yourself. You don't need nobody else to take you out on a date, to buy you flowers, to call you beautiful.
So frustrated with this concept of I need to be okay with my own company and I need to be okay on my own and I need to value myself and all of this bullshit. That's what it is. It's bullshit. When you live by yourself, and I mean by yourself, and you don't have anyone to wake up in the morning, anyone to go, oh, I noticed we've run out of this, or anyone to ask if you want to do something on your day off, anyone to spend your time with, anyone to watch a series with, anyone to do literally anything with, and I hate it. That's the thing. I hate it. I don't like being on my own. I don't like being lonely. I don't like not having anyone. Stop telling people they've got to be okay being on their own.
I understand the frustration, truly, but let's be real. Women who find themselves in these kinds of situations are often there because of the choices they made. No one forced them into that path. This woman is sitting here crying, wishing she had someone to wake up to, someone to share her mornings with, do simple activities like grocery shopping or watching movies together, someone to share real intimacy with. But here's the harsh truth. This is the life that often comes with the so-called boss babe lifestyle. The constant grind, the obsession with independence to the point where partnership becomes optional or even looked down on. The attitude of, I don't need a man works until the silence at night gets louder, until success doesn't hug you back, until the years pass and they realize nobody's checking in on them, not emotionally, not physically, not romantically. It's not about hating on ambition. It's about priorities. You can't put genuine connection on the back burner for years and then act surprised when no one's left waiting.
Look at what men have to choose from. They have to choose from a bunch of women acting like men. Why do they want a career woman? You think a masculine guy? You want guys to be masculine, right? You're saying these guys are lazy, stay-at-home sons, socially awkward, feminized. Okay, you want the masculine man. Why would that masculine man want you? What are you doing? You're playing his role. He doesn't need you to have a career.
I'm in my 30s, no kids, single. In my Chinese culture, I would be called a 剩女 or leftover. But could you please explain to me why? I look better now than when I was in my 20s. My body is more toned, my skin is clearer, and my style is more refined. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to do and be whoever I want to be. The world is not my oyster. The world is my ocean. And you're telling me I'm a leftover?
That's correct.
Dating apps feel like I am shopping at Ross and I am in the racks going like just passing through the clothes. That's what it feels like. My friends somehow convinced me to get on dating apps. You know, I've been single for about 1.5 years now. And I was like, whatever, okay, like I'll try it. I'll be open-minded. If I receive another message asking me WYD, what are you doing right now? What the hell does it matter what I am doing right now? What is your intention? That's your opening move? I haven't even met any of these guys and I am already so freaking annoyed. Whoever said that this generation of dating sucks, it really sucks. You guys, where are they? Where are the kings? Where is my future husband? It's so frustrating. I literally would rather be alone. It's scary out here. I am so annoyed. I am so done.
It always amazes me when a woman in her 30s suddenly asks, "Where is my future husband?" The reason it's so surprising is because for most of their 20s, they never prioritized that part of life. Relationships and long-term commitment weren't on the agenda when attention was easy, options were plenty, and validation came from everywhere. But now, once dating gets hard, once the calls slow down and the options dry up, reality starts to hit. And suddenly, they're searching for something they once overlooked or even mocked. She says dating feels like she's shopping at Ross. Everything's picked over, disorganized, and nothing fits quite right. But the thing is, that's not how it felt when she was in her prime and had a whole mall of attention. Back then, she wasn't complaining. She was ignoring good men. This pattern of women ignoring good men early on to seek them later on will never die out.
Me and my girlfriends all accepting absolute shit behavior from men, but just sitting around in a circle being like, you deserve better. No, you deserve better. No, you deserve, well, we both deserve better. Yeah, but I'm going to still keep seeing them. They're like, me too. And I'm like, okay. But you deserve better. No, so you deserve better. Okay.
You need help. Just out of curiosity, why is serenading not a thing anymore? And used to show up to a girl's house who they liked with a guitar and start singing, hoping they'd peek their head out the window. Men used to go to war. Now, men expect you to have sex with them after they pay for a $50 dinner. Now, men are talking to an entire football-sized roster of females. Now, men are cocky. Their egos are through the roof. And if you mention a guy that you like to your friends that you've been hanging out with, just forget about it. You're never going to hear from him again. Never.
These are the most annoying things that people tell me as a single 30-year-old. Starting off strong, learn to be content in your singleness. This is a common Christian phrase. Newsflash, I'm not content. It's not enjoyable. I'm a yapper. I want somebody to come home and yap to. My mom is starting to ignore my calls. I need somebody at home who's contractually obligated to listen to me yap. The other one, love will come when you least expect it. Cheryl, I have pretty much lost all hope. I no longer expect it. What I expect is to die alone. I have had this expectation for the last 2 years, and I'm starting to think that you're wrong about this one. You're young. You're so young. You have all the time in the world. No, I don't. I don't. I'm 30. I'm so young. Okay, I date somebody. When do you expect me to marry them? I start dating somebody today. We get married a year from now. And then what? We want to be married in our marital bliss for like 2 years. Then we want to try to have a baby. I'm already in my mid-30s by the time we start talking about having babies. If I'll get married exactly 1 year from today and then wait 2 years to enjoy my marital bliss with my husband. I'm not saying I'm old, but I'm not young. 30's not young. And I would really appreciate it if y'all stop trying to gaslight me into thinking that.
You know, for the majority of women who say things like, "I just want someone to come home to," the irony is, they're not even willing to step outside their comfort zone to go find the man they claim they want. That right there is one of the biggest issues in modern dating for a lot of women. They talk about wanting love, connection, a partner to share life with, but their actions don't align with their words. They sit back, swipe aimlessly, go to the same places, hang with the same circles, and expect Prince Charming to just fall into their lap like it's some kind of rom-com. Sorry, but real life doesn't work like that. They've bought into this narrative that if a man really wants them, he'll move mountains, break through walls, and chase them endlessly, without ever stopping to ask, what are you doing to meet him halfway? Are you putting yourself in spaces where good men exist? Are you being approachable? Are you doing any of the emotional labor, or are you just waiting around in delusion?
I'm not single by choice. I don't want to be single, but I'm not desperate either. So I'd rather be single than pick the wrong person just so I can tell people I have someone.
There are no hot men in Canada. When I moved to Canada, I thought a lumberjack man was going to come and sweep me off my feet. He was going to carry me into the woods, fight a bear, and we were going to live happily ever after. That's just not the fact. I haven't found one good-looking guy in Canada that piques my interest. I'm literally just about to go into the gym to see if I can find any. It's Valentine's Day next week, and I haven't got a date. What is going on, Canada? This is not what I expected when I moved here.
Women are not attractive anymore, and I'm not even talking about their looks. It's the fact that so many of them are not healed, not appreciative. They don't see their own mistakes, and they're stuck in another toxic relationship because they can't see a good man even if he fell upon her. They don't even know themselves, and they're out here constantly trying to chase the next best thing. Being emotionally manipulative and not being able to take accountability at this big age is a turnoff. Like, take some time to heal. Go find yourself without having to have somebody right by your side. Because nobody can do the work for you, and they can't distract you enough for you to not need to do the work. You have to just pull up your big girl pants and do it. Just look in the mirror and be better, especially before that good man finds you. Because that is the only way that man is ever going to give you a second look. Because he is only looking for healed, healthy, appreciative, respectful, giving and loving, all of the above. That's what he's looking for. So just be that.
Well, that is true. A lot of women today aren't healed, aren't appreciative, and don't know how to genuinely reciprocate. And that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of men are choosing to opt out of dating altogether. They're tired of putting in effort with women who think bare minimum is enough just because they showed up. But if we're being honest, the one thing that would rank number one for most men, the deal breaker that pushes them away the fastest, is accountability. It's something a lot of modern women seriously struggle with. Instead of reflecting, taking ownership, or asking themselves, what could I have done differently? They'd rather blame the guy. Everything becomes his fault. If she's toxic, it's because he couldn't handle a strong woman. If the relationship fails, it's because he didn't do enough. There's no self-awareness, no correction, just deflection.
That man that came on here a couple of months ago who said it's going to become a time where it becomes a gift for men to even deal with women. Like, it's going to be an honor to have a woman by your side. Because women are evolving so much to the point that they're not dealing with men no more. They're happy by themselves. They're happy on them low selves, and they're good. And it's going to literally be an honor, a prize to have a woman by your side. It's a prize now and an honor now. But it's going to become so detrimental because women are not dealing with men no more. He was on to something, because all this stuff that's going on right now, he was on.
Both are delusional.
One of the hardest parts about getting older is dating. Or should I say, the lack of available people to date. I don't even know where to start looking. I mean, there's... and there's... I heard of this one. What do I do? And I think I'm a pretty easy person to date. I don't have kids. I own my own house. I have a really good job. Yeah, so why can't I find anybody? I think one of the biggest problems is I have a really great group of girlfriends, and we do everything together. And so I guess I'm not putting myself out there. But where is out there? Can anyone tell me where out there is? And there's no opportunities to meet anybody where I work. So, I mean, it's getting to the point where I'm asking my younger friends, do you have any good uncles, or is your dad single? So if you guys could leave suggestions below, I would greatly appreciate it. And it seems like everything's online these days. So tell me which of these websites and stuff are, like, worth it. Bye.
Well, of course, there's going to be a lack of people to date when you're older. That's just reality. The dating pool shrinks and the quality tends to drop, especially when you're entering it late expecting the same options you had in your 20s. But listen to the things this woman lists as her selling points. I don't have kids, which, yes, could be considered a plus depending on the man. But then it's, I own my own house and I have a good job. Okay, but what about that makes a man want to date you? That's not what men prioritize in relationships. Most men aren't looking for a resume. They're looking for peace, femininity, qualities tied to your character, not your career. But nothing about her personality, attitude, or how she treats a man was mentioned. And then she sits back, confused, saying, "Why can't I find anybody?" The truth is, many women don't actually understand men or what they're looking for. They think what impresses them should also impress a man. But it doesn't. A man doesn't fall in love with your degrees, your job title, or your mortgage. He connects with how you make him feel.
Pisses me off is the discourse around how women only go for the top 15% of men. Like, am I supposed to be going for the fat loser who doesn't have a job and lives at home? Am I supposed to be attracted to that? Obviously, I'm going to be attracted to the guy who's ambitious, the guy who's manly, the guy who takes care of himself and his health and works out, the guy who's tall, the guy who's going to give my kids good genetics. Why on earth would I be attracted to the fat loser? Or any loser for that matter. Even an average guy. Like, why, if I could pick the best of the best, why would I be attracted to the mid-tier? Like, hello. Especially if I'm a top quality girl. What happened to earning your place in this world? You're going to be a loser in this life and then expect people to want you? Like, that's just common sense that that's not going to happen. Like, if I was fat and ugly, I would not be surprised that men are not going for me and instead they want the girls who are fit and beautiful. Like, I didn't earn to be on their level. I didn't earn to be wanted like that. So maybe instead of complaining that women only want the top 15%, work on becoming top 15% or somewhere near that number instead of sitting at home being a loser, trying to be a little victim.
A lot of my clients come to me because they really, really, really want a relationship. But oftentimes I find that they come with a desperate energy for any love that they can get. Anytime there is any sort of sense of desperation for something that you want, you're going to be blocking what is truly meant for you. At the very root, this means there is a self-worth issue. Low self-worth is going to create desperate energy for what you want.
Well, of course, many of these women are desperate to get into a relationship, desperate for any kind of love or attention. You can see it in how quick they are to chase men that do not want them, overshare on social media, or try to force connections that just aren't there. The thing is, this is just the beginning. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying it because it's the truth. Desperation doesn't attract love. It repels it. And sadly, many of them are starting to realize that too late. They're not in high demand like they once were, and now they're learning that beauty and independence alone don't guarantee a relationship. It takes character, humility, and emotional maturity, things you can't develop overnight just because you finally want something serious. Even on dating apps, many women give off that same energy, the vibe that they're waiting for a man to come save them. It's like they're signaling, rescue me, fix me, complete me.
That man would rather lose you than change, and that's all you need to know. He has gone days, weeks, months without speaking to you, and that's all you need to know. What more is there to know? What more do you need? Closure? That's all the closure that you need right there. He left. He thought that his life would be better without you in it. And I know that that's not easy to hear. Do you honestly think that your husband, your soulmate, the man that you are meant to be with for the rest of your life, would just let you walk right out of his life? He didn't fight for you. He didn't make the effort. I promise you, the man that you are truly meant to be with is going to do what he needs to do to keep you. He's not going to let you go, sis. He's going to see the value in you from day one. I don't know who needed to hear this, but I just feel like somebody did. All right, so stop sitting around sad. He wasn't the love of your life, but you will find who is. Love you.
Look, I get it. I'm fucking hard work to date. I've got my 3 kids, pretty much full time. I get every second weekend free, and that's about it, right? But why is it so hard for men to actually just take some initiative? No dates. Not a single date. I was speaking to a fella last week and it was chat. Yeah, I'm free this weekend. He's free this weekend. And made it very obvious my free times and not even asked out on a date. And then don't even get me started on the dudes that are like, here's my phone number. Not even asking for your phone number. I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. Like, there's no pursuing these days. They're all like, the women needs to do the work. Get fucked. Bring back the old days. Can't deal, hey.
Well, it's hard for a man to take some serious initiative with you, madam, especially because you have 3 kids. That's not a judgment. It's just the reality of what men are calculating. We understand that many women, including single mothers, want to date and find companionship. But in today's dating pool, it's not enough to just be available. Women need to take initiative too. A lot of women complain they aren't getting dates, yet they sit on this imaginary pedestal, expecting the right man to magically appear and chase them down with unwavering effort. Meanwhile, they offer little to no effort in return. They'll post a few filtered selfies, maybe write a vague bio, and think that's enough. But dating doesn't work like that anymore. Men are tired of guessing, tired of doing all the chasing, tired of being ignored or taken for granted. Next thing you know, they're back on TikTok, crying or ranting about how men don't pursue women anymore, completely ignoring the fact that they've contributed nothing to the interaction.
If there's one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna overthink it, I promise you. Like, all the time people are like, oh, why are you single? Because I overthought everything and scared every man away. Literally every single one of them. I'm like joking, but not really. Like, in the beginning of talking with a guy, it's like always like smooth. It's copacetic. It's because I don't care yet. And then once I care, I like read into literally everything. And then I'll like start overthinking, and then they'll like inevitably tell me to stop overthinking then that makes me overthink more about the fact that I'm overthinking. And then here I am, I'm still single. It's been great. But my second favorite thing that I overthink is like when I need to go work out. Because like I will somehow overthink like what I should do for workout. Like I'll be like, oh, do I want to go to the gym, or do I want to go to yoga? Or do I want to go to a pole dance class? Which like I've literally never done pole dance, so I don't even know why that's on the table. But so I'll overthink that too, and then I'll think about it for like 75 minutes, and then I won't wind up going.
Baby, I hear women only want the top 20%, and I hear you have work to do. I'm hearing that's time for you to jump that gap. They say that as a way to try to get us to step down, and they are fully convinced that women don't know this information. Like, babe, you don't think we know that we only have one genuine crush a year? They've made podcasts about it. They leave it in our comment section. They try to argue with us about it. I wouldn't recommend arguing with them, by the way. I wouldn't recommend even acting like this information is for them. This is for women to know. Because at this point, it's like, we don't believe the lie and we're never stepping down. If anything, the bar gets higher every day. And let's be mindful about what the top 20% is. It's doing most of the stuff that we already do. Showering, skincare, thinking about being mentally aware, and trying to be a person who's pleasant to be around and interact with. You would think we're asking them to be superhuman. No, we're asking them to put in effort, clean themselves, and give a crap.
Women can want the top 10 to 20% of men all they want. That's their right. But here's the cold truth. Most of them will never get those men. And let's be honest, this top 20% isn't about a guy who uses skincare or posts selfies with motivational captions. In these women's eyes, it's about status, money, and looks. Specifically, a man with a flashy lifestyle who's tall, fit, well-dressed, and has clout. They want the guy driving the luxury car, traveling to exotic places, making 6 or 7 figures and looking like he walked out of a magazine. But what they conveniently ignore is that this same man has 10, 20, maybe even 50 women in his DMs every week. He has options, endless options, and yet women still chase after him like he's the only man on earth. Why? Because he represents fantasy. He's not just a man, he's a walking dream they want to lock down, believing they'll be the one to tame him. But here's what they don't want to admit. They're not looking for a partner. They're trying to win a competition. It's about ego, not love.
This is a very unnecessary reason why women leave, ignore you, or ghost you. If you are genuinely confused on why things ended the way that they did, I'm gonna tell you something, and luckily I did not fall victim to this. I had a female friend and I told her about a guy that I was talking to, right? And the first thing she says is like, oh, you know, that doesn't make him special. He's not good enough for you. Like, he's not even important. He's doing the bare minimum, da 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 da. And I literally told her, listen, you're saying all this shit about this guy, but I never told you one bad thing about him. This is your first reaction towards me telling you that I'm being treated right by a good guy. And she felt so offended that I didn't listen to her advice that was trying to keep me single. But the reason why I'm saying this is because so many women sabotage relationships, right? They don't even know the full story. They might not even know the bad things, but I'm telling you, like, when I brought up to her that guy, she immediately changed the way that she treated me. Now all of a sudden, she's getting mad at me for little things. Now all of a sudden, her energy changed. Now all of a sudden, she's starting fights with me. But when I was single, she fucking loved me. But when she finds out that a guy is treating me right and he's making me feel good, happy, and feminine, all of a sudden, she's trying to find flaws in my life and pick at it. I'm like still trying to connect the situation together because I know who I am. I know what I have to offer to people. But it's like I genuinely feel bad for the women who fall for manipulative women who will literally try to ruin your life because they're jealous of you. This is actual real life. There are women like this. A lot of women will only love you when you're miserable. But when you're happy, misery loves company and they're going to try their best to get you that way. And yeah, she didn't like that I stood up for this guy because he didn't fucking do shit. He didn't do shit. You're not going to talk shit about an innocent person and then expect me to agree with you. What? But yeah, to be honest, like, find a woman who's going to defend you in private. Because if she's not loyal enough to check people who talk shit about you, then what makes you think she's going to be loyal enough to not cheat on you? Does that even make any sense? If you would like one-on-one coaching, it'll be in my bio. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention is I literally told her, like, I trust my judgment in my dating life. You don't have to criticize it. Like, if any woman is watching this, defend your man. Especially when other people don't. Like, they don't, they have, they have no room to talk. They really don't.
I do agree. A lot of times, women leave good men not because the relationship is broken, but because of outside influence. And one of the biggest culprits? Their friends. Women will sit around and take relationship advice from single, bitter, or secretly envious friends who have no clue what's really happening inside that relationship. These friends see one argument, one disagreement, or one moment out of context, and suddenly it's, "Girl, you can do better," or "He's not the one." What's worse is that some of these so-called friends aren't just clueless, they're calculated. Sometimes they're planting seeds of doubt because they want the guy themselves. They'll downplay his value, magnify his flaws, and hype up the idea of freedom or deserving more, all while secretly wishing they had someone like him.
What's so good in their life for them to be criticizing yours? What's so good about their relationships? There's nothing good about their life. That's why they're talking shit about yours, okay? And nah, my Latina side is not coming out. I'm just very protective over the people that I admire. And at a certain point, I was very protective over her. But once you get innocent people involved and you find a way to, like, try to hate on them, that's when a line is crossed. I'm not gonna tolerate disrespect, especially when you're trying to disrespect something that makes me happy. Okay. But I have many other female friends who are in relationships, and they actually tell me positive things. Like, they're in a successful relationship, right? They're in a fulfilling relationship. That's why they're not gonna criticize mine. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather take criticism from a married woman or a woman in a relationship or a woman who can maintain a long-term relationship rather than criticism from a woman who's single and she still has baggage from her last relationship. Like, take advice from healed women. That's what I'm going to say. But that's the reason why, like, I don't really talk about my personal life, because I'm very, very protective. And if I talk about my personal life, it's because I'm looking out for y'all. You guys deserve the truth. You guys deserve to learn from other people's mistakes, but I was smart enough to not listen to what she had to say. It just doesn't register. It doesn't add up. It doesn't logically make sense. Also, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. It doesn't deserve my energy. But just if someone makes you feel good about yourself, if someone makes you feel happy, if your inner child comes out, don't let other people talk shit about them. Sure, they can give their advice, their criticism, their output, but if they're just saying something that doesn't make sense to you, you don't have to take it and you can just leave it. Oh, and another thing that I want to mention is he does not know about this situation, because why would I tell him? I'm not looking for a compliment like, oh, hey, babe, you know, my female friend was talking shit about you and I defended, like, you want to know what I'm really saying? Pick me, choose me, love, like, that's not what it is. I defend you in private and I don't tell you about it. Because if I'm truly being loyal, like, why do I need to tell you when I did what I needed to do? Like, for example, if someone talks shit about my friend behind their back and I defend her, why would I tell her? Just so that she could get mad and retaliate against him? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna protect you in private and also protect your family. I understand that you have things to do with your life, and honestly, if I already defended you, why the fuck do I need to tell you? Why the fuck do I need a compliment from you? Thanks, babe. I really, like, no, it's integrity. Like, you care for people behind their back. You don't tell them everything that you've done behind your back, because you're not keeping score.
In this case, the woman actually stood up for her man when her friend tried to bash him, and that right there is rare. That's not something most women do these days. Too often they stay silent, nod along, or worse, start agreeing, even if they know deep down their man is a good one. But this woman, she set her friend straight. Because let's be real, it's easy to influence some women when you boost their ego and start feeding them that you can do better narrative, especially when you say it during vulnerable moments, after a fight, a rough patch, or when emotions are high. That's when the seeds of doubt are easiest to plant. And what gets ignored is the man who's sacrificing his time, energy, and effort, not just to keep the relationship going, but to help it flourish.
I am 30 years old. I'm very single. I'm happy being single. I have, I'm gonna cry. I have 0 people on my radar. I'm not interested in dating at the moment. I need to heal myself. But what's so frustrating, is that everyone wants to move my life along faster than I do. And by that, I mean, it's horrible that I feel like I can't talk to anyone and mention a man's name in a conversation without them assuming that we're talking, that we're dating, that I like them, that they're anything more than just my friend. It's so frustrating. You can see it on their face and they don't ask a question. They just look at you. You can hear it in their voice.
Damn! So not one man ever looked at me and said, let me put this bitch up. Let me buy this bitch a Range Rover, an Escalade, or a Porsche. She can pick any Birkin or Chanel bag she want every Tuesday. And all she have to worry about is what hairstyle she gonna wear, what she gonna wear, drink lemon drops with her friends just to go gossip. Not one man? I am not the bitch I think I am.
Disciplined man. A man who knows how to treat himself and knows his self-worth and is respectful and is traditional just in the right sense, and like wants to give and is like open to receiving and is not like trying to get like to fight with you over like the spotlight, and knows that he's a leader and like walks and guides and like and like doesn't rush you and is calculated and is like, again, like disciplined. He has a vision and he executes it. Oh, sweet mama. Oh, sweet mama. Send him my way. Send him my way. Oh my God. It's so sexy. Like, it's so sexy. Like, when men have their shit together, like, Don't forget, emotionally intelligent. He's got to be emotionally intelligent and is like in tune with his feelings and like checks in with himself and like is not reactive. Oh, you know where to find me. Send him my way. Send him my way.
This is simply nonsense. If women were truly attracted to respectful, kind, traditional men, the kind of men who actually want to lead, provide, protect and build a future, most of them would be married already. But that's not what we're seeing, and everyone knows it. The reality is, women don't go for those types of guys, not in their prime years at least. They say they want a good man, but when he actually shows up, stable, emotionally available, grounded, they label him as too boring, too nice, or not exciting enough. And then they chase after emotionally unavailable guys with red flags, or men who clearly aren't looking for anything serious. And it shows, because every so often, without fail, you'll see a woman on TikTok pouring her heart out in a stitched-up video saying something like, "I had a really good man years ago, and I pushed him away," or "He would have done anything for me, but I wasn't ready," or "I thought I could do better." So again, this is nonsense.